Hello and welcome to the Unpublished Writers Club, the podcast for aspiring authors, writing enthusiasts, or any creative out there. Whether you're at the start of your writing journey, in the process of being published, or perhaps just curious, everyone here is welcome to connect, engage, and perhaps learn a thing or two. I'm your host, Azia Mowbray, a first-year university student who, over the past 5 years, has been learning, growing, and failing, all in the hopes of making a career out of writing. And so, while I'm still at the start of my writing journey, I thought I'd bring you along with me to share what I've learned, and I'm in the process of learning, to help make your navigation of this world just a little bit easier. In today's episode, we'll be talking about a writing tool that you might not be utilising enough: writing competitions. Whether you're unpublished, unsure, or just underconfident, writing competitions are such good tools to use to be able to open doors for you, get feedback, and perhaps even get yourself noticed. There is something very daunting about putting your work into any form of publication or just sharing format. So for me, my first writing competition in high school was so daunting. I think I did it out of just last minute, tried to get something in purely because I was curious about what it could be, and I had something written that I thought could be fun, and I truly didn't think anything would come from it. I was just proud that I had put something in and I had taken that first step to put in the effort to get my work seen a little bit more. And while this was quite daunting, I did find that it was a really good mindset to have, that even though it was someone would be reading my work, even if it was bad, only one person would have read it, and it doesn't have to reflect back on me and who I am as a person. And so I thought that was okay. I could definitely do it. I could hand in this one thing, and I ended up winning the competition, which was crazy to think about. It was such an exciting moment for me and truly something I hadn't expected. And whilst that one was a success story, I've definitely had plenty of other competitions where I've had varying level of successes. I've had, highly commended, I've had no comments at all, I've had bad feedback, I've had good feedback, everything you can think of, because I've been putting myself out there. I've heard it all, honestly. But I honestly think that in itself has been a great experience. And while I'm saying you do not need to spend the next few years of your life just doing competition after competition, I think I, of all people, know the pros and cons to competitions. And overall, I think they're just such a great tool to be able to utilize that are free to you in most cases. You get so much out of it. And even if you're getting bad feedback or you're not winning every time, that is not the point in it. You are still writing, you are still doing so good. I honestly think the biggest takeaway from competitions, regardless of if you win them or not, is just that pride you feel in having put something in. You've created something that you're proud of, and you get to hand it in and have your name attached to it and get someone read it. Even if it comes back with bad advice, you at least still finished a piece, which is such a big thing to be able to accomplish. And it's great to build that momentum, even if, or not even if, when you start and you have sort of those not so good pieces, every single piece is a step forward, no matter how other people interpret it. So you keep building that momentum and it will get you so much farther along in the long run. So why should you be entering competitions? My first reason is purely because of the deadlines. Every single competition will have a deadline of some sort. It might be that night, it might be in 7 months from now, but at the end of the day, it is such a skill to be able to work with a deadline. When you write for yourself, there is a completely different mindset because you know that there isn't a time pressure on you, which means that you can keep working on the same piece over and over again, or you could just keep putting it off because technically you have all the time in the world. But when it comes to competitions, you have such a pressure in that way of knowing, okay, there is this time I have to get it in by, and it's either a win or a loss by them, regardless of what actually happens. Because if you don't put the competition piece in, it will be a loss no matter what. So it's really good to get that practice with deadlines, especially if we think in 5, 10, 15 years from now, when you are truly a part of this industry, when you are published, you will constantly be working with deadlines. And so it's great to start building these habits now, to know how to handle them, how to time manage, and to be really inspired by deadlines rather than afraid of them. Writing competitions also give a good sense of structure, whether that is in the topic and the theme that they want you to write about, or the actual style to be writing in. They give a structure that really allows you to play around within a box, rather than having to look at a blank page and go, okay, there are 50,000 things I could write about in 50,000 different ways. What am I going to do? Having some form of guideline is a really good place to start so that you can be inspired and know, okay, these are the points that I have to have, get them on the page, and suddenly everything seems a lot easier. Writing competitions are great because once you tell yourself you are going to do this competition, you're going to get this piece in, you actually get to finish something. You have a finished product, no matter what stage of drafting it is in, that you have at least edited once or twice, that you've read over, that you know and that you in some way love because you did create it, even if it's just one small element of it that you enjoy. But that is such a big hurdle to get over on just having something completed and getting that sense of accomplishment from that, because so many times you could easily start a project, finish it, and I know every single one of us will have done that, whether that is a short piece of work or a huge novel. We will all have things that we have started and not finished, and once you get into the habit of not finishing things, I think writing competitions are a great way to break that habit. And even if it's just a 500-word piece, 200-word piece, like a sentence, to have something that you can finish, that you tangibly know, okay, for this premise and for these guidelines, it is done, it is complete. Whether you grow that into something bigger one day, in this moment it is done. That is such a sense of accomplishment that you should be proud of. That really helps reshift your mind into going, oh, I can finish something. So like a 200-word competition piece might then help you finish a 500-word one, might help you finish a 2,000-word one, and all of a sudden you've got a short story or an entire novel underneath your belt that you truly have finished and that you have that grit to be able to accomplish. And in this industry, there's a statistic that out of 1,000 people who start a novel, only 30 people will end up completing it, and only 6 people will end up getting it published. And those are kind of daunting statistics, I get it, but to me, I think they can also be really inspiring, because from one perspective, we can go, okay, there is this limited amount statistically of people who are going to finish this novel. I am going to be one of them no matter what. And from another perspective, we can say statistics don't tell us what to do. We as a community are going to finish our novels, we are going to finish our competition pieces, our short stories, our anything, and we are going to prove the statistics wrong and actually grow them. And we are one day going to be able to look back and say, yeah, back in my day it was about 30 people in every 1,000. Now it's 50 people, now it's 100 people. Because if we stick to what we want to do and we build this momentum now, then we truly get to change the data itself, which is probably nerdy, but very exciting. And so with that, writing competitions, having short little pieces to put in, whether that's every week, every month, every few months, getting into that habit of just finishing a work, editing a work, it is so helpful in the long run. Another reason why I think that you should enter competitions is because of feedback. I've mentioned it a couple times already, I think, but it is just so good, whether that is a competition within your community, a global competition that's being held online. Just find yourself competitions that are free to enter and then have feedback, because there are plenty out there if you know where to find them or have the time and energy to look for them, because then it's just free feedback. You are getting advice, you are getting help, you are getting different ways to improve on yourself. And I'll admit, not all feedback is good feedback, and when you hand in a few competition pieces or get a bit of a spectrum of feedback back to you, you'll be able to start seeing a lot of the feedback can be contradictory in a way. It can be saying some things are good, some things are bad, and then another person will flip it entirely, and that is purely because we have our own tastes, even competition judges. So never think that you not winning a competition, or perhaps getting a piece of feedback that isn't completely positive, is because your work sucks to absolutely everyone on the planet. It is purely because even the most objective of judges do have a little bit of bias. And in my experience, no one is going to come in and give you 100% negative feedback. Everyone will always try and hype you up as well and be able to say these parts are really good, or I've never heard this before, and this is interesting. And I think that is such an important thing to know going into maybe your first competitions, or if you've been scared off before, that all the competitions out there are still being run by lovely people in this community, in this industry, that truly want to hear other people's stories. They want to hear your stories. And so while it may not be everyone's cup of tea, nothing is 100% trash. It will be good in some way, and again, you finished it, so that is something to be proud of in itself. No matter what the feedback is on, it's a good habit to get into getting it, understanding it, being able to pick through what you will actually take on or not, because at the end of the day it is up to you on what feedback you will apply to yourself, because sometimes you as the author know a bit more and you can go, okay, I see where they're coming from, but that wasn't actually my intention going through, and you just know within yourself that that is probably not what is going to strengthen the piece or your writing itself. So it is still up to you to pick and choose, but know that everyone is trying to give you this feedback with the best of intentions, because they want you to grow so that you can keep putting in pieces that they can keep reading and then help support. My next reason why writing competitions are so great is because there are no age restrictions or like publication demands. So what I mean by that is that they are so inclusive, and it is different for every type of competition. So I say there are no like age restrictions. Sometimes competitions will just be for like 12 to 18 year olds, 18 up, those sorts of things, but there will always be a competition running that you will be able to find for yourself. There are competitions that could be purely for people who are more towards retirement age, or people who have English as a second language. Like, it is so accessible and so inclusive that I think once you find the right ones, then you can absolutely flourish in them. And that being said, usually there are competitions that will just be open to absolutely everyone. So decide what you want. If you want to go in and do some competitions that are more tailored to you, your skill set, your demographic, amazing. And if not, you can go and do competitions where you're purely just with the entire world sometimes. So that's what I love, is that it's one of the things in this industry where you do not have to be over a certain age, you do not need to have certain skills or proof of experience. So it's truly open to everyone, whether you've been writing for 50 years or you're picking up a pen and paper right this second. I also think that writing competitions are so accessible in the way that you can choose to do a piece in person in your community, or you can be more anonymous online. That's really fun. And I think my last episode I did was on finding the confidence to publish and why you should show your work to others, and I think that was definitely a point in there that it's okay if you want to be anonymous or if you want to be truly out there showing your face, your name, everything. But competitions are another great thing to utilize regardless of where your confidence levels are. The most important thing is that you're confident enough to share your work, no matter what that looks like. My fourth point for why you should share your work is because of exposure and credibility. It is so good to have piece after piece, regardless of if you win or not, purely to be able to use and have for your portfolio, to be able to put online if you have a platform where you're sharing your work there. Just have some form of proof and receipts, I guess, that you have been doing work. You can share what competition you've been trying to put it into. And then if you do win some or get feedback on, or even get just like highly commended on, you get to share that too and add that to your CV. And that's a great thing for future publishers to see, for agents, for anyone out there, that you are dedicated to this, that you've been doing it for a while, that this is something that you do have that reliability and skill set for. There is also a chance that writing competitions are being watched by agents or editors or even publishers themselves, especially when they are being run by those people too. You will find that a lot of publishers might be doing different competitions out there for writing of all forms and styles. They get to know your name, they get to see that you are repeatedly putting in competitions, that you are there, and they get to see your work and perhaps comment on it and like put you on the map in their head. So it's great for both of those reasons, of you can have proof for yourself to be able to show people, but then you're also getting yourself marked in other people's minds. And in some cases, writing competitions, regardless of if you win them or not, if you get high enough, you will be able to get published in some way for them. I remember there was one competition that I did back in high school where I didn't win it, but I managed to get through enough rounds with the piece that I did get offered for it to go into a big book of a story collection that they were doing. And so I think those sorts of opportunities are great to be able to utilize, so that even if it's not like your own publication, it is still work that has been published that is yours in some form. And that is great, again, to be able to show people, to put on your CV, and it just holds a little bit more weight when you are working towards something potentially bigger. I've been told that the biggest reason why employers want people with university degrees isn't so much of the knowledge that they gain from it, but it's just that proof that they have shown up, they are reliable, they are dedicated every single day, that they have been able to do this really long and hard thing, and it just holds a little bit more weight in the minds of people out there who want to work with you. And so I think writing competitions are a little bit of like a sneaky way to be able to try and get the same sort of thing, because if you've been showing that you've been putting in this work month after month, week after week, for however long, it just shows that you have a little bit more dedication and a little bit more strength in your skills, that you can show up for people. So I think that's a great way to try and build a history with it, even if it doesn't get you anywhere from the competition pieces themselves. At least, you know, improving it and like showing these works, showing these receipts that you have this constant willingness to put in this effort, it will go so much further than you think it might in this moment in particular. So it really shows that self-motivation and dedication to your craft, because it's not like you're showing up and you're a bit of a wild card. No, you have proven time after time that you are motivated to do this work, to get it in by these deadlines, to edit it yourself, to make it the best you can, and just do it again and again, no matter what the outcome is. And that just goes such a long way when people want to work with you. My final reason is a bit more obvious, but sometimes writing competitions will have prizes, whether that is money or other forms of grants. I think they're always good incentives, so something that I did want to mention. So while money is a big incentive for these competitions, with a lot of competitions giving out cash prizes to people who win first, second or third place, a lot of competitions will also do really cool other opportunities, such as you could win mentorships or residencies or workshops, and I think they're just such great opportunities that we don't usually have access to, especially for free in some ways. It's such a great opportunity that you can't turn down. Like, if you have the chance and all it's taking is a piece of work that you might have already been working on that helps you in so many other ways as well, why not just hand it in and see what happens? Similarly, you also get the perk of networking. So even if you don't win, you might be able to be connected with the network of other writers who have put in these competition pieces, with the judges themselves who have given you feedback, with any number of people who are in this industry that might like your work in some way, even if it didn't win, or can help support you. And same goes the other way, especially for people who have also put in competition pieces. A lot of it is shared and you can comment on them, make friends, support others, let them know what they're doing well, and then help each other in the long run. Those were all my reasons for why you should enter competitions, but I did have a little bonus section here on hidden benefits. So I've mentioned a few throughout, but I think there are 3 really important things to be able to note as well, to be able to help motivate you and inspire you to definitely go and put in that competition piece. The first is that you find your voice. So getting to write things over and over, you can practice in different styles and different themes that the competitions may ask for, if they're a bit more unique and demanding in that way, or if it's all up to you, you get to choose the style and everything. It's really cool to be able to work on different things, to do piece after piece, to realize, oh, these are where my natural strengths lie, this is what I'm naturally interested in writing about, and really push yourself to keep working on those things. Now, if the competition demands something that might be a little out of your comfort zone, that's really cool too, because you can figure out how to write for that new type of piece or style, but then see how your voice transfers throughout. Even if you're used to writing historical period pieces and you have to do a sci-fi, it's really cool to be able to see and learn for yourself that you do actually have that skill and have that range. And while that might not be your preferred style to do every time, it is just good to know that you can do more than you thought. Or potentially you might find that you actually do like that style or theme a little bit more than you thought so. You get to be able to explore that a bit more beyond the competition. So it's a great way to not only refine your voice, but also expand it a bit more in ways that you didn't think possible before. As I mentioned, in some competitions, you'll also be able to read other people's work and connect with them. So I think a great hidden benefit is truly the community that you can find. If you manage to comment on people's work, try and share social media, try and connect with them in different ways and support each other as they keep going through their writing journeys as well. And usually these people will be writers on your same level, or if not, that's great too, because they might have had more experience that they can share with you, less experience that then you can work together with. So it's great to just connect with people of all different backgrounds, all different experience levels, and know that no matter what, you've got people to ask questions to be able to maybe bounce story ideas off of, and also share competitions that they're going to enter next. So build that community, get that network is such a great opportunity to be able to keep growing for yourself and support others in growing too. Finally, you do learn how to lose. I think if you hand in 100 competition pieces, it's probably a safe bet that you'll probably lose around 90 of them. And by lose, I just mean not win first place, because as this whole podcast has been about, you win so much more than just the potential for a first place acknowledgement. And so in losing, you get to understand how to get negative feedback, how to get rejection in that way, which is such an important skill to learn. But I think it's also great to know for yourself that even though you've put in this time and this energy, this is something you're really proud for, and someone might not like it and actually truly reject it, that you will survive. You will keep going forward. It's not going to hurt you in any way. It will feel a little bit sad for a moment, but again, that doesn't mean that everyone's gonna hate it. It doesn't mean that it's bad. I think with getting that negative feedback too, or those losses, it honestly helps you find your own feet, and you get to realize, no matter what other people say, I'm still confident. This is still what I want. This is how I know how to improve now, but I'm going to keep going and not let anything knock me down. And once you have that solid ground for yourself, I think it's so good, because then no matter what comes your way, you're ready for it. It's not even gonna matter. And again, remembering that a loss doesn't mean that you're bad. No one is trying to outwardly say you suck so much. Like, truly, everyone is just trying to uplift each other and give everyone opportunities to keep growing. So take these moments in stride, realize what it feels like to lose and how to move forward, and those are important skills for when there is a bit more on the line. So that concludes my reasons why you should enter competitions. To recap, I discussed how to build your skills to be able to meet deadlines, how you could potentially earn feedback or even money prizes, how they're accessible to absolutely everyone no matter who you are or your background, and how they help build your credibility for future publications. Thank you so much for listening. I know taking these first few steps is daunting, but truly, like I think I say in every single episode, it is worth it. These tiny little moments have such a big impact down the line. Perhaps something you can do this month is try and enter just one competition. It doesn't have to be a big one. It could just be a tiny story, but just put in the effort to write it, have a little edit, and then send it in. That's all. No matter the outcome, just enter it and be proud of that. I'll be back next time with another episode of the Unpublished Writers Club. Until then, make sure you check out the links below. I'll try and put in some writing competition links for you. And let me know if there are any topics that you want me to cover in a future episode.